Hey guys, it's Adam from Top Dog, and we're doing another Monday motivational moment. And today's moment was kind of inspired by an earlier training session that I had with Zeno. We're working on this jump bar here, and we're doing two different commands with it. We're teaching him when he goes away from me to either go over or under it, based on just a verbal cue because he's running away from me. And that's pretty hard for him because he really likes to work off of hand signals. And so it's been a little bit of a challenge, and I think I need to change my expectations up just a little bit to be able to really get him to understand what I'm asking him to do. Overall, he's doing terrific though. And what I'm seeing with him is that, like I said, I need to change my expectations slightly and change my goals slightly in order to be able to get him to do this right. I don't need to give up on it. I don't need to just say, oh, he can't do it. That's not ever going to help us grow. But what we're talking about today is expectations and goals and how that affects dog training. So what I saw today was that when I first started working on this, I got to do a little bit of it on Saturday with him when I had some free time. And we did it in our training room. And in the training room, it's pretty sterile. It's pretty easy. He's been in the training room thousands of times. He's been training in that same training room since he was 8 weeks old. And so it's easy. It's just, for him, it's just like all of y'all's living room and how easy your dogs, listen to you better when you're in your living room and there's nothing going on versus when you're at the park or something, right? So we're in the training room, he's getting it great. We come out here to the driveway when the kids are out from school, so kids are walking by and things like that. And I need to change my expectations because he can't do it nearly as well. So I have to do things like shorten the distance between me and the jump, do a few less repetitions, reward a little bit more frequently, things like that. I just have to change my expectations and my goals when I increase the challenge around me. And I think that's really important for us to remember with dogs and really with anything in life, is that if I'm not setting appropriate goals, I'm really never going to achieve anything. If I don't say, okay, by today I want to be able to get him to go over and under 5 times, well, I'm probably going to give up a little early. Like maybe he'll just do it 2 or 3 times and I'll say, oh, I'll just call that good. So it's really important for me to set goals for myself with my dog training, with my business, with my life, all these things. I wrote a newsletter about a year ago about why I feel like it's so important to set goals. And today I'm not going to go deep in all those goals, but I am going to say it's really important that we make sure that we have goals and that we have the right expectations of our dog and that those adjust from time to time depending on the scenario. So a good example of that we see all the time, and you folks that have been in group classes or any kind of training with us know that when we're working on sits or downs or the place command, we're always focusing on those 3 Ds, right? Distance, duration, distraction. Now those are really easy to set goals for because with distance we can say, okay, yesterday I was able to get 5 feet away from my dog and they were able to stay in a sit. Today I want to be able to get 10 feet. Now, what's important though is that with having the right expectations, we make sure that we push ourselves a little bit. I'll give you a really good example. The other day, we had somebody come in for a second lesson. And in their first lesson, we taught the dog how to do the place command and a couple other things, but the place command is the one I'm going to focus on right now. And when they left that day, they were able to do 20-second places. The dog could go to place and stay for 20 seconds, and they were able to get about 5 feet away from the dog while it was on place. Well, when they came back for their follow-up lesson about a week later, they said, look, Adam, look how great we're doing. They put the dog on place, and they could do 30 seconds, and they could get about 7 feet away. So obviously there was a little bit of a miscommunication. I didn't do a good enough job of telling them where their goals should really be. So I just told them, go home, keep working on that, keep working on your distance, your duration, all those things. And they didn't quite grasp how hard they could push their dog. So because they didn't push their dog hard enough, they didn't achieve as much as they could have if they had pushed a little bit harder. So that's really important, guys. I just want to encourage you all this week, set some goals for yourself, set some appropriate goals. Now, that same scenario, if those people would have come back and said, yeah, we were trying to go for 30 minutes on place and we failed, so we just gave up, that would have been just as disastrous, right? Because if you set the goals too lofty and you don't achieve them, it's frustrating for you, it's frustrating for your dog doesn't like to train anymore because they can see that you're frustrated, and it just ends up being a bad situation. And it's the same way with any goals we set in life, right? We have to set them at the appropriate level. We have to make sure that we understand exactly what we can achieve and then push to achieve those things. So again, like I said earlier, I want to set you guys all, or issue you guys all a challenge this week to set 2 goals. One for you and your dog, and one just personal goal, whether it's work related or fitness related or whatever. Set some goals, make sure it's an appropriate level, so you're pushing yourself, and also make sure you're adjusting to the situation. If something happens where you need to make some adjustments to that, make those adjustments and then strive to figure out what you need to do to achieve your goal. I'm Adam, this is Zeno. Thanks for watching, and we hope everybody's had a great Monday.